A statement from teacher Carlos Honest, Durham College. I've spent my total presence fostering a specific rule of the universe, and now that thought is being tested. I invite that, since that is the way we push ahead. It genuinely is the means by which we make advancement in science. James Webb is upsetting pretty a decent arrangement, the sum in cosmology that has been held as truth for 100 years. Another incredibly profound picture shows yet again that we have made blunders in cosmology. The telescope that was expected to show us the essential stars of the universe is transforming into an enemy of the past perspective and could convey us an entirely new science. Now, not all analysts are shuddering in dread at the new measurements. Numerous researchers invite the propensities, since it has extensive been perfect, that something became amiss with our old hypotheses. The errors inside the aspect of the broadening charge of the universe alone ought to have shaken analysts alert and ready to go a very long time before. In any case, as a substitute of interpreting the alerts practically, they stuck to rare speculations. The enormous microwave historical past radiation, or CMB, for fast, is viewed as the most seasoned light inside the universe. The CMB was made about 380,000 years after the enormous bang, when the universe had chilled off enough for electrons and protons to shape stable hydrogen molecules. Specialists named this progress reionization, and this variety made the universe penetrable to light. The CMB was first saw as in 1964 by the Yankee physicists Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson. Indeed, even as the two researchers had been working on another kind of radio wire innovation, they came all through a reliable commotion coming from each bearing overhead. This revelation transformed into extended appeared to be as one of the most grounded bits of proof for the gigantic bang idea. Penzias and Wilson shared a Nobel Prize and went noticed inside the historical backdrop of astronomy. The CMB entirely likely gives a photograph of the youthful universe. Little temperature variances are fundamental assets of records around the conditions inside the universe presently after the monstrous bang. Researchers use the CMB as a dependable engraving of the principal measurements of the material universe to degree the broadening pace of the universe, among other things. The space expert Edwin Hubble had as of now made this estimation inside the late 1920s. Hubble had found that remote systems die from us on the whole headings and that their speed is corresponding to their distance. These days we know these perceptions as the Hubble regulation or the Hubble constant of Way. Hubble did no more except for have such careful estimating methodologies as have been utilized many years after the fact. While the CMB changed into found, scientists recalculated the cost, and the fresh out-of-the-box new worth changed into notably lower than the decided Hubble thought. Later researchers recalculated the rate once more with kind 1 a cosmic explosion as stylish candles. Stargazers had such stable light available that this light could be utilized as a kind of dependable estimating component. The space is determined with popular candles by means of contrasting the found splendor with their genuine glow. The estimations in the CMB yielded a determination pace of around 67 kilometers per second in line with MEAP Park, while the estimations utilizing the Super NOI yielded around 74 kilometers per second consistent with Uber Park. What does S8 actually tell us? This qualification in determine the development pace of the universe has been perceived for the explanation that 1990s. Since then, specialists have viewed or as an elective thought that something ought to be erroneous with the assessment of the CMB. The estimation techniques or the possibility of the broadening of the universe. The disparity between the different measured upsides of the development cost of the universe is thought in science as the S8 strain or Hubble strain. The ramifications of this tension aren't simply any distinction in size. The explicit impacts show us that significant matters around how we have perceived the universe to date are deceptive. For a significant time frame, scientists had been confused, given that the James Webb Region Telescope went into supplier. The telescope has given researchers a few shocks that can now shed light on the issue of the development cost of the universe. Cosmic systems so old and mature that their arrangement should hypothetically originate before the enormous bang are totally upsetting the old innovation in astronomy. There may be never again discussed disparities or varieties in estimation. Specialists are talking around the biggest emergency in present-day cosmology. Now, not most viable could the pace of development of the universe be inaccurate. The total idea of development or the enormous bang is being put to the investigate. We find in Net's pick proof of a universe that could be extremely exceptional from what we've extended thought. The S8 tension was a first watchfulness, and all specialists who still trusted inside the old speculations presently have a difficulty. Can we genuinely see nothing roughly the universe today? Numerous researchers are remaining at the ruins in their ways of life as work they take a gander at space in loathsomeness and not catch what they may be finding. Considering the debacle in innovation, we want to ask ourselves, what might we at any point really perceive roughly the universe? To answer to this question, we need to comprehend how mechanical ability works. Hypothetical researchers use a complicated net of numerical models, observational realities, and insightful thinking to reach determinations from the in general to the exact. Their insight comes from a mix of tracked-down peculiarities, trial outcomes, and a lot of hypothetical investigations. The word guideline alone shows us that these are constructs and contemplations, but at this point not bits of insight. The least difficult practical ability we have are the photos that telescopes offer us, with the sounds, waves, and radiation that we can catch with radio telescopes, and the most recent measurements that neutrino measuring systems or gravitational wave locators convey us. With the James Webb Space Telescope, we have a gadget at our disposal with which we can interestingly wreck down the most seasoned gentle into individual frequencies and look at it in a manner that has in no way, shape, or form been conceivable before. Then, the Webb can show us which elements had been fundamental in universes quite a long time back, how much mass became contained, and the number of stars this demonstrates. And the telescope can recreate the structure and direction of movement of a cosmic system. Yet, Webb moreover can have shortcomings in certain snapshots. As an occurrence, the telescope can't determine with truth whether we are genuinely seeing universes or dark openings that shine similarly as brightly as a cosmic system due to enormous accumulation plates. We should confront the truth that our science has long evolved in a manner that has predominant such a large number of situations as bits of insight and has long not noted alternative reasons. Research has extended been sure that it's tough right. The current discoveries from the James Webb Telescope are fundamental pieces of information to refresh hypotheses with new bits of insight. As has passed off many examples in innovation, researchers are right now holding up. The new disclosures are as well insane, and it appears to be unimaginable for some analysts to furnish you with new explanations. Right now, the new discoveries are shaking the rules of our material science, and that panics numerous analysts. The lessons of material science these days are still generally principally founded on Isaac Newton's lessons, who completed research in the 17th 100 years. For hundreds of years, his lawful rules of movement and gravity were the dream of physical comprehension of the genuine worldwide, comprising of the universe. Newton's lawful rules give a clarification for the activities of things under regular conditions and function admirably on this planet in space. However, his contemplations required to have been delayed, and this was generally performed through Albert Einstein on the start of the 20th century. His unique hypothesis of relativity transformed into distributed in 1905 and upset the comprehension of reality. Einstein demonstrated that reality are comparative with each other and rely on the movement of the onlooker. The overall rule of relativity saw, as in 1915, expanded the hypothesis with numerical confirmations of gravitational peculiarities in view of the bend of room-time by masses, such as stars or universes. Einstein's regulations and thoughts were cognizant in numerous areas, but he additionally arrived at his restricts. The scientist knew during his lifetime that his hypotheses may very well never be sufficient to portray the universe in general. He longed for tracking down the world framework, yet he didn't prevail by the way. No other analyst has prevailed right up to the present day. Where is the slip-up? Wouldn't it be fascinating to know where the misstep lies? Mayo Kaku, the well-known astros researcher from the U.S., said in an interview that the individual who settles this issue is sure to win a Nobel Prize. How about we inspect what realities researchers might have overlooked? Where have they potentially misconstrued peculiarities? Or are our telescopes dependable at the first spot on the list of suspects for the genuine reasons for the cosmological debacle? Our dull matter and dark energy, our ongoing models of the universe, incorporate rules that dark matter and dark energy together make up around 95% of the universe. However, neither has at any point been straightforwardly noticed, and in this way their genuine presence has never been approved. Possibly they don't exist by any means, and we should make sense of the development of the universe and the elements in systems in any case. Or may both have properties that we don't yet know about. One hypothesis right now under conversation is that the physics properties of the two dim parts have changed over the long run. That might really mean that we're managing some type of insight. The following perspective to be put to the test is gravity. This power, which evidently brings about fascination through mass or shape in spacetime through mass, has not yet been laid out. The contemplations of room-time shape start to a great extent from Einstein and were confirmed genuine many times over. However, we can't as of now preclude the probability that gravity has totally unexpected properties in comparison to we thought, or that a particular impact causes the gravitational shaft on and between objects. Throughout the long term, various values were laid out in our cosmology and astronomy as alleged vast constants. These are values that are generally solid since they barely change. Estimations have shown that little varieties of these affirmed constants carry new force into the universe, and that we could make sense of a wide assortment of peculiarities without the presence of dim energy. It is moreover conceivable that our understandings of the red shift of light are erroneous, and that for a really long time we have estimated inaccurate distances inside the universe and furthermore mistakenly resolved the age of cosmic systems. Maybe our suspicions about the underlying states of the universe were additionally erroneous. We might have misjudged the infinite microwave foundation radiation, and it's moreover conceivable that the universe can't be followed back to a solitary beginning stage. This would imply that the possibility of the large bang is inaccurate. In spite of the fact that we're innovatively progressed, we can't run the show out minor mistakes in the Webb telescope or other observational gadgets. Engineers and researchers admitted notwithstanding the debacle that slip-ups in instrumentation, information handling, or understanding are generally conceivable. Subscribe now and never miss an astonishing new video.